Broccoli. 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 With tuna. With black broccoli.
Broccoli man.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to tonight's pod.
We have a good show tonight.
School. Wait, bro, come on, let me finish introducing it.
We have a good show for you tonight.
I didn't even say the name of the podcast, bro. But anyway,
No, you always start the podcast off like that.
Oh, that we have a good show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This time it actually is a good one.
We got a good
You should
topic
at least
for you
say
guys.
the name.
This is already off to
whatever.
a terrible start.
So we're the art school rejects, as you can tell. Tonight we have, I'm just going to go roll call through everybody. We have Carlos.
Hello.
We have Luis.
What's up?
We have Chad.
What it is?
We have Jake.
Hello, everyone.
And we have Shane, who is myself. And tonight we're talking about Star Wars. And Star Wars, The Force Awakens. And pretty much just anything Star Wars. So hopefully tonight's podcast is one that you guys are going to love a lot.
We're talking about Star Wars episode, which one?
Siete.
Episode number 7.
And this is also
7.
our 7th episode.
For sure.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! It's
I
like
planned it.
Inception,
I planned that.
but
Oh
with
my
Star
God.
Wars.
Are we even
It's
here?
Immaculate Conception.
You're welcome.
It is.
Jesus.
Oh,
And
it's all
before
me.
we get started, I just want to say
An embryonic
one thing.
miracle.
You can do it.
One
Let him
quick
say
shout
his
out
thing.
to Some Jerk, actually.
Oh,
for
shit.
hooking us up with our intro and outro music.
For
I
sure.
like that guy.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, do we got the copyright for that shit? We got
Yeah,
this?
Yes.
for Some Jerk and Signal Flow Recordings for giving us permission to use his
pickle
wonderful,
Damn,
wonderful
man.
tracks.
7th
And-
episode, and already we got
And
sponsors.
for all y'all who don't know who that is, don't let the name fool you. He's quite a nice guy.
He's quite a nice.
just
Not a
some
jerk. He's some nice guy. So
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure he can be a jerk sometimes.
I'm sure there's people who can attest to that.
Anyone can be anything if you put your heart to it.
Oh, and also don't forget to visit the Tumblr, right? What is it, Shane?
It's... Give me 1 second. Wait, what?
We know what it is, right? We know
Yeah,
what
it's,
It's real. It's real.
No, okay, I'm sorry. I had a little brain fart. It's artschoolrejectspod.tumblr.com. Pretty much what we do is every pod that we have, we just go through and we have like a little visualization of what we discuss throughout the pod.
It's
We put it
also
up on
a
Tumblr.
space where you can leave a comment, submit something to us as well that we can talk about on the pod.
Tell your friends, tell your crew.
That's a way for our listeners to be able to interact with us.
If you could think it up, we can make it happen.
And like us and follow us on Tumblr.
and send
Yes,
us your
whatever that
tweets.
means. I don't even know. I don't care actually if you do.
I'll play that card.
Subscribe to the pod though.
I don't even
subscribe to the
care.
pod on
Yeah,
iTunes.
check us out
on
our
our
SoundCloud.
You know what?
I think
Forget-
it's
don't
good
even
if
listen to us
people-
anymore. Just turn it off now.
All right. So,
Listen to us
Star
and
Wars.
What's going about your day?
Star Wars, guys.
Episode
Star
7.
Wars. Episode 7.
was
Force
alright.
Awakens.
No.
Fuck you.
All right.
Wait, yes.
Chad thinks it was
Wait, that's
alright.
my job is to be that guy.
Oh,
Chad.
I'm sorry.
Chad, have you even seen the original
movie?
trilogy?
Have you ever seen Star Wars? Do you know what Star Wars is?
Bubba Mask is in
Answer
it.
that.
If you're
Answer
already-
me.
Yes, I have. Yes, I
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
When?
No,
Like when you were a kid? I mean.
What? No, the last time
Or
I
did
saw
you-
was
like-
at least a couple years ago.
The real version. I like the Trinidadian bootleg.
Wow. Wow.
Swap
First of
shot
all,
version.
wow. Shots
Wait for
fired.
cuz?
Hardcore.
You're big the force
Secondly,
cuz?
I don't even think we
I
can
bet
afford
you I
to
would
do
like that
that.
version better.
So, and if we did, I would like that version more anyway.
Me too.
If
So you
that
try to
would
steal
you-
the
I
movie.
would watch it.
That would be amazing.
We're still trying to do a Trinidadian accent and failing.
I'm
Yeah.
trying.
But
It's hard.
Yeah, like what was like the cantina that they're in?
Maz
Cantina.
Oh, they had kalimbas instead of those flute
So,
thingies.
like
It had-
everybody in there is
had,
like
like,
carnival,
calypso-
like
like
dressed like
calypso
carnival.
and-
Oh, that'd be fucking sick.
Dum, 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 dum,
No.
dum, 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 dum.
And Rihanna would be there.
No, she's not
No,
from
she wouldn't go to
Trinidad.
the Trinidadian one.
Oh boy, no, she would be singing
Nicki
for
Minaj.
in Java's Palace.
Yeah.
So would she get sent
I
into
can
the?
see it.
Would she get sent down to the pit?
The Starlight Pit?
It's
Maybe.
not Sarlacc pit.
Oh. Look at me, I know what's up.
Kikawa, Bahama.
All right, guys. So episode 7.
So what about Star Wars did you guys want to talk about? Because I know that Carlos had some
Why wasn't it
interesting
better?
questioning.
I really liked how this Star Wars was exactly like the first Star Wars.
You like that?
It made it easier to follow.
That was done on purpose.
Why?
They
Why
just-
was
I
that
thought
done
maybe
on
they just didn't
purpose,
have any
Luis?
ideas. Like, I don't know.
No,
And,
well,
J.J. Abrams
Let's
even-
make the first one again.
J.J. Abrams even said it was just basically a big fan film.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah.
I still stand by my logic that it's a matter of it's been out of theaters, or a new film has been out of theaters for so many years that if you're going to reinvigorate the franchise, give them something that works. So you inherently just kind of retell the first, or I should say episode 4, but with all the new characters that you're going to now introduce in the forthcoming episodes. So, I
that
kinda
was
beef with it.
definitely a huge thing. They were like, okay, so this is a formula that completely worked. Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
And you guys know that the original Star Wars was like a tribute to
It
other
was an
older
amalgamation
films.
of like all these other really amazing films from years
Exactly,
long
so,
before
yeah,
that film
yeah.
came out.
Exactly.
So I remember when I was really small, I used to watch Buck Rogers.
that's too
Right.
old.
I didn't. You're too old.
Yeah.
Okay, I might be too old. Like it was,
70s.
it was so much that I had a dentist named Dr. Buck, and I used to call him Dr. Buck Rogers.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That's great.
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, aside from the fact that the formula works, J.J. Abrams was standing behind like this movie is not about like the set events that happen. It's about these new characters. Who are these new characters? It's like sure these things happen to them, but it's not about that. It's about how they react, how they, these,
Which he
just
did a very good
introducing
job
these
at.
new characters to replace all
Absolutely.
the old ones.
Yeah.
And he's actually also playing on the fact that which it's in the bigger scheme of the universe of Star Wars, which is part of the reason why spoiler Luke kind of left and was like in hiding or whatever. He's playing on the thing that like history kind of repeats itself, like the Force kind of puts everything in balance or whatever. That's why there's always like a new enemy, and then they take over for a while, and then the Jedi are good for a while. So everything kind of like there's cycles in this universe. So
Well,
that's actually what they're playing off of, and he says
is
it
it-
very clearly. It's like we're playing off of this thing that where the cycle kind of repeats, where this evil empire kind of takes over, which here is the First Order or whatever, and then there's this new good guy that comes over, and I'm assuming she's gonna be the new guy, the new good guy, and
It's a good
Luke
person.
is the new
Good girl.
Yoda or whatever.
Well, wouldn't there be like after like they defeat the Empire in Return, right? Wouldn't there be like a bunch of people that are just like, well, that's great for now, but everybody knows history is going to repeat itself.
Well, there's a lot
Well,
of
I
There's
mean,
just
things that
we're gonna
go
have to do
on.
this again.
I
like-
mean, yeah. Well, we see that in our fucking planet. I mean, we see things happen over and over, and
Trump.
we're like, hey, that happened. Stop it.
Well,
Don't
if you
talk,
really
don't talk like that, because that sounds very familiar.
How does the Empire keep affording this stuff?
taxes.
that's what's funny is someone did a thing about it, and they talked about how like if they actually destroyed the Death Star like that,
It would bankrupt. it would
it would
bankrupt the entire
bankrupt the
galaxy.
universal
the entire
economy.
galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's
There's
the
no
thing.
way the Empire will recover from it being destroyed twice.
Here's
let
how
alone
I
the
see
first
it.
time.
We as a viewer only see a very, very small portion of this. I mean, we're talking about galactic shit. We see what, 2 planets, 3 maybe if you count the ones that blow up.
That's no moon.
So it's like when you really think about the scope of how much. I mean, to have an entire planet full just of stormtroopers. You have to imagine, where are these stormtroopers being produced? Like, they need like other planets and all this shit to be able to just produce this amount of
they
of
did have
manpower.
that.
Yeah,
So
they showed that.
we only see, at least in the originals, we see like 3 planets, 4 planets maybe. So it's like we're only seeing this small action,
Endor.
like where all the quote unquote action is. Like, how many slave planets they probably have, how many like government regulated bureaucracy bullshit planets are. I think that's what George Lucas was going for, in his originals, but obviously nobody wanted to listen to that shit.
No, but when he did
It's like,
the
trade agreements and all this planets and all this. It's like nobody wants that.
oh, you're
shit.
talking
We
about the
want
prequels,
action.
not the originals.
the prequels. Yeah.
Yeah, the prequels. He went on about all that junk.
I think we can just assume that there's like the First Order rules like a galaxy full of other planets or nations, and
But
they have to pay taxes just like everybody
But they
else.
were
Yeah.
just blowing up
Space
planets
taxes.
freaking left and right. I don't know. What kind of fiscal responsibility is that?
They don't have
Is it
any.
just to prove a point, or because both the planets that got popped look like they can produce some sort of sustenance to make the First Order continue on, but then they're like, oh no,
they,
we're just
they have a
they're proving a
whole
point.
yeah.
They-
Those
they
weren't
just-
part of their they
Right.
weren't under the umbrella of the First Order. That's why they could destroy him without
any kind of like real repercussions.
Well,
right?
but they probably have like
outside of morality issues.
stars like full of just planets that owe them, that have to pay their dues
Yeah.
just like everybody else.
Gotcha.
Pay the union.
So you don't pay into the
I mean,
union, you
I-
get popped by a space
Yeah.
comet.
I mean, there's always like a superpower that like takes over and shit.
Yeah.
Like the way that I was thinking, it's like, all right, more than likely in this
The Koch brothers.
in this new universe that Disney is creating, because they deleted everything, it's very possible that the First Order has always been there, just like a smaller section, and then once the Empire was taken down, they saw the opportunity to like jump in and take over, because
Right.
it's like only the Death Star was destroyed in the originals. So what about all those planets and all that shit, all those people that have jobs, and they just kept working. So somebody kind of stepped in. I'm in charge now.
Well, yeah. If you look at it, like technically,
ISIS.
the whole thing with the Emperor, he's a Sith Lord, and this new guy, he's not Sith. They're all Wrens or whatever that's supposed to be. So it could
Well,
be
I mean, they're
like you
still
said,
using the-
like you said, it's a completely different faction. They just kind of have the same idea.
Yeah. And they actually mention it in the movie.
They wear the same uniforms.
It's all black.
in the movie
Black with
they
slimming.
mentioned the whole like actually I think it's Han Solo, that the one that says
No,
says
they
it.
were
He says-
no. It was one actually. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Han when he was mentioning the cost effectiveness of using clones compared to like the bred and built stormtroopers, like how Finn was.
No,
Like,
I'm talking about when he was saying about the Empire and the First Order. He's like, oh, they're all the same. There's always somebody that wants to take over and all that
Right,
shit. Like
right, I gotcha.
it's all real or whatever.
I got you. It's all relative.
Maybe don't quote me on that, but
Oh, we're going to.
he does mention some touch on that fact that there's always some evil superpower that wants to take over.
Yeah, it's just like in real life. If there's someone always more evil that can come in.
Yeah, we take out Saddam, and then all of a sudden ISIS pops up.
Yeah.
What a coincidence. Well,
The symmetry is.
I do kind of wish that they'd
Amazing.
do some movies about, because there is canon stuff about how, after all this stuff went down, Luke Skywalker went to go try and start up a new get all the Jedi together and start up a
Yeah.
new thing. And they, you know what, Obi-Wan Kenobi did the same thing after the third movies, essentially, which I would love to see that movie.
Which I think,
what happened
if not Rogue
between-
One, the other one was supposed to kind of touch base on a lot more heavily.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think
Rogue
it would
One
be-
won't be that. No.
No,
'Cause
I think
at that point
this
they
would
were
be
already old.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what that journey between, like, if I say screw the Han Solo prequel,
Maybe we
I
can
kinda wanna
see it
the
in
journey
a
between there.
Ray flashback.
I don't want no flashback. I want a full movie of what Ben Kenobi was doing. Hire Ewan
No,
McGregor.
no.
When he was
Get
young.
Just show
Ewan
me all
McGregor.
that in the Ray flashback.
Yeah, okay, 5 seconds of that.
No, it's like 3 minutes, but it's like
Okay,
it's like
it's like
very well
15. That's the part you go to the bathroom in the movie theater.
I just thought about, because you mentioned Ewan McGregor, and it's like, now that I'm thinking about, between the prequels and the originals, there's probably around 30 years.
Yeah,
And
at
between
the very
the
least.
originals and these new ones, there's another 30 years.
Yeah,
And it's like the whole thing of like the Empire rising, taking over, and then they're brought back down to nothing. So it's like it's kind of like the same thing happening again.
It's like
Well, if you recall,
like
it's-
Roadrunner in like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah,
something.
pretty
Keep
much
going in circles, like
and it works.
forever,
I mean,
forever and ever.
yeah, that's
Well, here's the thing. If you really look at it, the biggest problem is that the Skywalker family reproduces.
Yeah,
And
That's the biggest problem.
That's the biggest problem.
they're like the
They're-
Rockefellers.
They are the central
They're in command of
It's like,
every,
look
the
who-
universe.
ebb and flow
It's
of
like-
problems in this
It's like
galaxy.
the Bush family too. Like, oh, he's president too. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
just because he's
It's
a
like-
fucking Bush.
Like everything was cool in the prequels, and then they found Anakin Skywalker, and then he fucked shit up. And then after that, he became Darth Vader, and he was fucking everything up. Luke Skywalker went off, and Leia went off and had a kid with Han, and now they made Ben, whatever his last name is, a stormtrooper,
AKA Kylo Ren.
and
Ben
Kylo
Solo?
Ren. Yeah, whatever. and
makes sense there.
Kylo Ren became an asshole and killed all the fucking Jedi that were left that Luke Skywalker wrangled
Well,
together.
we know the story, but
So
we
it's
kind
like
of got
if-
heavy into. Yeah,
That's what
we don't
I'm
have
saying.
to like.
Stop-
We don't have to like retell like the
I'm
entire.
saying, I'm
We
giving
got
you-
really
stop
like
producing.
deep into kind of like the nitty gritty, like the finances of
Yeah, the economics
how,
of Star
yeah,
Wars.
like how. But I mean, we didn't really talk about how we felt about the movie. Like, what did we actually think about the movie?
I mean,
I
was
liked it, man.
It
I
was
liked it.
exciting. It was to be expected, I guess. You know, you left there with the same feeling you felt when you
How
kind
many
of saw
how
the
many
first
times
one.
did you guys watch it?
Oh, just at one time.
I
Once.
need to watch it again, but I love
did
the
too.
fact that he went back to a lot of practical effects and practical puppets.
Yeah.
But
Oh
the
my
thing
God.
is, it's like now with our the new cameras that are like so much sharper and so much this and that, or at least the. I mean, I'm sure if you were to scan the original film, it would be super sharp. But like the versions that we have of the originals are kind of blurry, so it kind of like blends reality with all the puppets. Now the movie is so crisp and clear that you can kind of see. It's like, yeah, it looks like a
Miniatures.
movie to me. You
Yeah.
know, like it looks like there was a scene when we first see Kylo Ren where they're like fucking harassing that or just
They're fucking.
annihilating that little town. To me, when I saw that, I was like, okay, that looks like a stage. It looked like they just lit the center because everything in the background was black and
I see.
it just looks like they just put like a black curtain around it, lit the middle, and just kind of like do your
I
thing.
thought they did that on location.
Probably, but I mean, to be able to get that, they would have to like surround the place with lights and just aim at the center.
I got you.
You
something
sounded
like
like
that.
Marty McFly just now.
Doc.
I mean, with me, my experience with it was pretty good because I kind of decided to go a little all out. You know, we saw it in D-Box 3D,
Nice.
Nice.
so that
Ooh, yeah.
definitely
Seat moves, the
aided.
seat moves, right?
Oh yeah, most certainly.
It's like
And
and
that-
smell-o-vision.
well, no, that's
Nah,
a couple
we're
years.
not there yet.
It's 40.
Couple years.
You can smell the burning ozone.
But you know that
from the
definitely
lightsabers.
aided in the experience altogether. And like I said, it's just one of those things. Where after a while, you kind of start to see the resemblance. And to me, it wasn't an insult or upsetting. It was just like, oh, okay, so at least I kind of know where this is going. Now let's just see how these new characters are portrayed or how they play it out. My only critique, for really real, my only critique with the Star Wars film is that I understand that the relationship between Poe and Finn, the reason why they were so minute, how he was gone for like 2/3 of the film and he came back at the end. But it's just kind of like I felt there was so
Wait,
much
wait,
more
why?
there. I have no idea.
What?
Okay,
Wait,
well,
wait,
see, he was supposed to be in the original script.
He was to be dead.
He's supposed to be dead.
Yeah, this was to kill him off.
They introduce you to this awesome character, like,
And then all of a sudden,
Poe-
boom. you know?
Yeah, and then he crashes and dies, and that was like, wow, like I can't believe they did that, you know, especially Oscar Isaac, you know.
Of all
Oh,
people,
so you're
exactly.
saying the whole like how Marvel and DC like they always bring people back to death from the dead.
He comes back later. It feels weird.
It does. It feels off.
Well,
because it's
here's
like,
the,
feels
here's the
off,
thing,
yeah.
and I saw this argument being brought up. It's like, oh, how the fuck did he survive? Well, how did Finn survive? They both survived this exact same way. They were
exactly.
shot out for their
no, but
rocket.
that
seat or
doesn't
whatever.
really matter because it's like, yeah, fucking Finn walked away from it. I'm sure Poe could as well. But I'm like, there was
Yeah.
so much dynamicism between the two
How does that work?
on their way off of the starter shore. I'm presuming that's what that was. That it just came to a complete halt, boom, and then it was just Rey and Finn, and I'm just like, that I get it, but I would like to have seen a lot more.
Well, it's he was supposed to be dead, and then in the
that's what the problem
rewrites
is.
they decided that
bring him back.
let's not.
Which I'm
kill
glad
this
they did.
character off.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
So
because
there's
they
more
made
room.
such a strong character.
Yeah.
It'd be such a waste just to be like, and then he died in a crash. You know, he was like such a badass like during his interrogation and everything. You know,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Why not let him die?
Because it's such a punk way to go out, man. You know what I mean?
A
Like,
punk way to go out, like,
mean,
bro.
that's-
If you were trying to lead the revolution and you were like a top-notch dude and you got popped as soon as you got on the battlefield, all right, that's your time.
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
know what I'm
from a
saying?
storytelling
Yeah, but it's a movie,
standpoint, that
so-
seems relatively
You don't gotta do
wasted
that.
because there was so much energy
Is
involved.
it wasted?
it
I
was
mean,
one of those things where it's like, why did we waste so much time learning about him?
No, okay, I guess because everyone's siding on the fact that they thoroughly really enjoyed the movie. Like, it was good, but
It was fun.
I really wasn't so much a fan that it's a blatant remake of the first one. Like, it's just setting up like Finn to be like the new Han Solo, Rey, the new like Jedi, and Ben, and like, you know, whatever.
Well, that's the thing about the movie is that it was blatantly a setup movie.
Yeah,
It
and
was-
to me that's
it
like
was,
a cop out.
it's not a movie
I
that
think
can rest
It
on
was
its
a
own.
total cop out because
No,
I mean everything about it, bro. Like, okay,
It was
the
Thor.
the X-wing battle at the end. Okay, we instead of having to find a minute port point to blow up this whole entire ship, we're gonna attack it from this one like central point and blow up this whole thing again.
Yeah,
like,
because they got
we've
smart
seen
and
it.
blocked out that
We
port.
got smart, but the thing is, bro, we just seen this movie already, and to me that pissed me off. Like, I felt like it was gonna be something
Did
new
you
and
ask for your money
fresh.
back?
No, I didn't. But I'm
I
saying,
demand
like,
a refund. This is the same
you know, with
movie.
all the build up and all the hype behind it, to just get a regurgitation
Yeah, and I feel
of something,
you.
like, come on.
I feel you.
Really, really, really think about it, guys. Anything else that was done the same way, you know, let's say your favorite sports car came out and, you know, you expected something a little bit different, but they gave you the same thing.
I always do that.
You know, like, you started a new job thinking it's going to be like all this coolness, and then you get the same thing. You have a new girlfriend, you think it's going to be
All right.
cool because you're old. Whatever.
it's
I'm
just
going
the
off
same
on a
thing.
tangent.
No,
So-
but that's a good example. It's like J.J. Abrams, he made it specifically so that
Fan service.
yes, the events are similar or the same, whatever. But it's about the characters. It's about reintroducing these characters. So it's the focus should have been on the characters and all that bullshit. I understand that, you know.
Okay, wait. Let me interject then. So then,
It's kind of like you're saying about like the whole car analogy. It's like, yeah, it's like it looks similar to the old one, but it's not the old one. There's new aspects to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
exactly,
your
like, you know,
S14
like,
versus your S15. They look kind of similar. There's a lineage you can tell, but it's not the same beast.
you want new. I mean, like, okay, you want a car from the 80s, right? Do you want like no anti-lock brakes or whatever? You know, do you want some new tech that we have now? Like, you know, maybe like having your car talk to you. I don't know. Power windows, maybe. But what I'm trying to say is, like, it sucks that all they did was just make, you know, Han Solo black, Luke Skywalker a girl, and, you know, they introduce this new guy, which is a fighter pilot, which is cool. But I mean, like, if you're gonna do that, make them their own characters.
But I mean,
you know,
Shane, to your point though, I will say the chance of that happening is very high with the remaining episodes that we know are coming out. So it's one of those things where it's like the hype of the film. If you're a decent enough fan and a decent enough moviegoer, the hype of the film corresponds with the fact that there's so much more Star Wars to come out that, and you don't have to wait forever because it's damn near on a yearly basis that they're coming out. That you're like, you know
got
what?
pushed back.
I guess I can wait.
Yeah.
Let's wait and
Yeah,
see what
but-
they're gonna do with this. You know what I mean?
Episode
but
8,
that
I
still
think, got
doesn't
pushed back.
really go against the fact that they just said, "Hey, we have these new characters." Oh wait.
Yeah,
You
but it's
just
the
put
exact
a
same
different
story.
Skin.
No, I got you.
You just put a different skin on top of
I
them.
agree. I
That's-
totally agree. But
that's
it's
crazy.
I guess I'm able to overlook it
But
because
you
I
know
know
what?
that
Hey,
there's going to be more
that's-
Star Wars
I-
coming out.
I feel
soon.
like they're different enough
Yeah.
and
Yeah, 'cause-
interesting enough Because,
you know what it really is, Luis?
Yeah.
It's like playing a video game and you're fighting like the little grunts and you get to the next stage.
Let's not make this
and
about
they paint
Halo.
them a different color.
Let's not make this about
I'm just
Halo.
saying,
No,
whatever.
I wouldn't
And they're
say
painted
that.
a different color. They're a little bit badass, whatever. But they're technically the same foe. You know, like, and to me, I think that's what they did here.
No,
But
not really.
you know what?
Because that's
No,
more like a
no, that's what
literal.
I'm
That's
saying.
more like a literally the same foe, and this is like
But-
they do have their own subplots. I mean, yeah, it's something familiar, but it's not the exact same
Bro,
story. And
we-
the characters on this and that.
We just opened this whole thing up saying that he blatantly regurgitated.
no, and well, the reason
The
why I
Hope,
do
the New Hope.
I mean, this
reason-
is a good time to point out that we have a black
No, yeah, which is good.
stormtrooper.
Okay,
that
I
I'm
is-
not saying that-
black.
We have a
We have a
black,
black here,
person in
guys.
this movie. All right, 2016.
No,
Yo,
no,
guys,
and that's
no.
there's a black guy as the main
Right.
character, and he's holding a lightsaber, and he's battling a Jedi, and there's also
Sith.
a girl that is also the main character, and that's different. That's not the same. That's not what we're used to seeing.
No, and
But-
no,
But
I
you get what I'm saying.
I
It's just a
understand, like,
different
I
skin on top of the same character.
No,
but
I
to me,
think-
it's like they could have just to win me over. If they had just went the extra mile instead of just blatantly regurgitating the character, like the formula that worked. I
I
would have
think
been like
Shane
totally
is
better.
officially has taken my crown as the resident
Wars
Star
hater.
Wars hater of the.
I'm not hating on Star Wars. I'm not.
so
I'm
much
just.
hate, bro.
I'm hating on.
Well, anyways,
like really
Here's-
stories that are
Here's the-
regurgitated to the
here's
fact that it's
reasons
so
why-
easily for people. Hold on a second.
Okay,
Luis.
you-
That's so easy for people
hating.
to see the
No,
similarities
no, we
between
get it.
things.
You've
No,
You
I think everybody.
you've expressed your
Easily.
distaste.
I'm sorry, but anyway, go ahead, please.
There's
please.
two reasons why I'm okay with the quote unquote repetition. One is I'm totally into the fact of like history repeating itself, and now all those characters get to see like, okay, how are we gonna solve the bigger issue in the long run? Not just like, oh, let's kill this empire. Like, how are we gonna like? So I feel like that's probably what they're gonna focus on in the next few films. But I've bought into that whole idea of like history repeating himself. Now, from our point of view, a viewer point of view, I think it's kind of cool to reintroduce new like these characters or whatever with the same experience that the originals came out of. So it's like all the young kids or whatever that are seeing Star Wars for the first time, they're gonna go through a similar experience. That, and then it's gonna just be fan service to all the old ones that are like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
But,
I
I
mean,
mean-
there was even a character that was named after one of Lucas's like first movies.
Who's that?
Oh,
It was like THX, like something.
In this one?
THX.
Yeah, but it's
Jax.
like that's just like more fan service, right? So it's
Yeah.
littered, like the movie's littered with these
Yeah.
little things for people that have been
But
doing this for
but
forever.
even knowing that, it's like I don't think that the movie was completely reskinned. There's sure like the major events happen, like there's this empire kind of trying to whatever take over the First Order, blah blah blah. There's this one Sith that's like super awesome or whatever, and then they try to have a fucking Sun Eater bullshit. I didn't like that much, but and then they have to go in and blow it up or whatever. I get it, but it's
Could I say one thing, Luis?
yeah, huh?
Desert planet. Desert planet.
Yeah.
The Millennium
where else do they
Falcon.
go to?
Jakku.
Some planet that has greenery on it. Oh, they go to a cantina. There's a Death Star.
That was
they
added
blow
later.
up a planet. They blow up the Death Star the same way.
Yeah.
Well,
they basically took Empire
wait.
and
Oh,
like
sorry. Wait. Also, let you know. Wait. Someone struck down like their mentor.
What?
Same
Okay.
thing that happened.
I don't know.
So I'll give you this though.
I don't know.
You know,
that
it's
happens.
kinda-
That seems to be the theme in every first Star Wars movie. They find a Force user on a desert planet. They go to something with lots
Yep.
of fancy foliage, and then guess what? The biggest dude, the baddest Jedi, gets struck down or whatever, or some guy, a mentor, gets struck down.
Who got killed in
Every
the first
single-
one?
Qui-Gon
Liam
Jinn.
Qui-Gon?
Neeson's.
Yeah,
Oh
gets chopped in
damn,
half.
for real? Damn.
Liam Neeson's.
Sorry,
But
yes.
he doesn't like kind of. It's
Well,
different
but
because what I was trying to say is like Han Solo and Kylo
Yo, Liam
Ren
Neeson's.
and like Obi-Wan and like Darth Vader. You know, like they're both father figures to both of those guys.
Yeah, but Qui-Gon Jinn was for Obi-Wan.
Was Qui-Gon Jinn for Darth Maul?
Was I Jinn?
I don't
For
think
Obi-Wan.
so. Yeah, but Obi-Wan
Quasimodo?
witnessed him getting murdered.
That's all you
But
gotta
what
do.
I'm trying to say
Okay.
is Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, you know, that's like brother, father, son, whatever relationship.
Yeah, but the thing
and then
was-
you have Kylo Ren and Han Solo, who is actually his father.
Yeah,
you know.
but look at
upper
it
mentor.
like this though. Look at it like this.
But that's how I'm looking at
It
that.
was-
But we can
We're
move on. Let's move
reiterating
on from
points.
this.
I just
Yeah,
want to
exactly.
say this one thing. We'll move on. It wasn't
Yeah,
about who struck down who. It was about who witnessed that person getting struck down in every scene. Luke
okay.
Luke
Okay.
Skywalker saw Obi-Wan get struck down.
Did he?
Ray saw.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, he did. It was before he got on the Millennium Falcon. Ray saw Han Solo get killed, and
Chewbacca
Obi-Wan
saw him.
Saw,
That was more.
Chewbacca saw it. Yo, he went crazy.
and yeah, Obi-Wan saw his boy get killed. All three of those were just them seeing their mentors get killed.
But here's one more point, because you did have, you said you had an issue with it feeling like a setup, and
is.
I think it's like
Yeah.
no, it completely is, and that's the thing, that's impossible to get away from, because
pretty much.
everybody knows the exact fucking date that each other movie is gonna come out already. And everybody knows that these movies come out as trilogies. They know that the originals built up as a trilogy, and the
Yeah.
prequels.
But there-
built
there's-
up as a
okay, so-
trilogy. So it's
so-
like this one. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I see that. They're setting up for the next one." It's like, yeah,
Bro.
because you know
Bro,
there's
I'm
a
gonna
next
tell
one.
you right now, F, the next
It's gonna be Empire.
big movie, not the big, what is it called? The next Avengers trilogy is exactly the same thing like the first one. And then the second one's the same way. Like,
What?
I'm over it.
I got something for you.
Aren't
I
we
bet
going to
Tony
the third
Stark
one
is Tony Stark is gonna have a brand new kind of special armor, and then the Hulk's gonna get real mad and turn green, and then Thor's gonna come down and be witty with all these people. You know, it's gonna be. It's always the same.
But okay, so you brought up the Avengers,
Disney, too.
and Luis brought up the fact that, well, of course it's going to be a setup movie, and that's the thing that I appreciate about the Avengers, because even though the Avengers are all connected, right, all of the movies, Marvel has still found a way to keep each individual movie its own kind of complete theme.
Yeah,
true.
but hear this
the Winter Soldier was like a spy film. It's like kind of one of those old school
It's a
spy films,
beautiful
and like
fucking
conspiracy theories
complimentary
and all
movie.
of this come. And so that was the theme of that movie. It didn't feel like,
But
I mean,
okay.
it was totally a setup movie. They all are, right? You're right about that. But
Yeah, they
Marvel
gotta
has
make their
figured
money.
out. So the Doctor Strange movie is like, it's directed by the guy that did like Sinister or whatever, right? Or one of those like horror movies, and it's gonna be.
We're
like,
dipping into
this is the scary movie, right?
Well,
So-
hear this out, because I think it's and with the Marvel movies, I think it's more like this big event happened, and then one tiny little piece that happened in that movie transfers over and kind of kicks off the next one. With Star Wars, it's like, imagine like a one big long movie that was split into three. It's like they directly feed into each other. It's not like this big event happens and then one little strand of this one kind of
But
it
don't
kicks
get
off
me
the next
wrong,
one.
Luis. You can have that, but
No, but that's what I'm
still
saying.
stuck on the whole blatant regurgitation, and it's
No, I know you
Okay.
are. I know you are, and
Cop-out.
you're not
But-
gonna get over that. I mean, but
I understand what you're
I'm
saying,
okay
that
with it
in-
because I'm okay with the whole history repeating itself.
I'm actually okay with that too.
But in terms of
which
comparing
is
it to the Marvel movies, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
The Avengers
okay
movies.
with the symmetry, right? And this is coming from me, who is a known Star Wars critic, right? To say the least. I mean, you guys know me.
it'll say a hater.
I try to be nice to myself, but okay, fine. Critic, hater, whatever. So I watched this movie. Number one, I had a lot of fun watching
Oh, did we
it.
lose
It was
Chad?
fucking.
The
My
dog
girlfriend-
fighting
my-
was fucking sick.
It was exciting. It was fun. I enjoyed myself. I'd watch it again.
Ooh.
The points that Shane had that he's kind of salty on,
Hella salty.
I don't share. I'm more on Luisa's side, even though I'm usually very critical of Star Wars. I did have some points that are not related to Shane's points I should say, like just kind of like
your
some of the
own-
other scenes that felt really clumsy, like exactly what Chad brought up about the relationship between Finn and Poe. Like that felt kind of like weird because, you know, in the script, the original script, he was supposed to die in that scene, and then he comes back, and then now what do we do with them? Because
Yeah,
he's
but
not-
that's about.
It's like
I mean, you're breaking your own fourth wall there. You know, like
Yeah,
you're
and
like,
you
oh, but
didn't
that's
know
not in
about
the
that until
script. It's
after
like
the movie
it's like,
was
well,
there.
whatever. That's not in the movie.
No, but no, that's
who
not.
cares-
No,
who
that's
cares
not.
what
That's
was in the
not
original
entirely
script?
factual. That's not entirely factual. Without even having the foreknowledge of knowing he was supposed to have lived or died, the fact is the dude was gone for 2/3 of the film, knowing especially how well they expressed that connectivity between Finn and Poe before they crash landed on the planet. Just all of a sudden, bam, he's gone, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's back way at the end of the fucking film. So it's like,
Yeah, well, I mean,
like shit.
I mean, they had
Why-
they had
why
good-
is he here?
They had good chemistry, sure, but they knew each other for fucking half an hour. What do you? I
So
mean,
then why-
literally,
so
it's
then
like
why put
he
point so
broke
much
him out,
emphasis
and then
on
they were
that?
like, you know, having good jokes, and it's like, yeah,
the
But
other
in-
part that I felt was kind of strange was at the
Soulmates,
end
man.
when
Soulmates.
Ray and Luke meet.
Yeah, it was kind of just like
Like
fucking
it was
whatever.
like it felt like super epic for some reason,
yeah.
and there's like no reason why it should be that dramatic. Like
True.
she doesn't know Luke at all.
No, I
You
think
know,
I
like,
think
there's
no,
like they
that
don't
was for
know
the
each
fans.
other.
Don't
That was
they?
for the fans because the
No,
fans
everybody knows
were
who Luke
waiting
Skywalker
for
is.
Luke. No, but that's the thing. Everybody
They
but
don't
I don't
have
think
they don't
they
have a
mentioned-
relationship, and the way that it was built up was like, oh, this is this epic moment, and it's like it was not earned. You know, they have no interaction with each other. It
Well,
could have just been like
but,
her, like, here you go,
I mean-
like I heard that you're a guy and this is yours.
But you got to kind of think about it, though. It's like you're.
Well, she heard of him.
As it
She-
goes
she
back
just
to
thought he
like what Jake
a
was
myth.
saying earlier, or what Luis was saying. Like he's royalty in that sense, you know. Like he is he is a Jedi. He's like the Yoda of our generation or of this time.
Even more than that,
you
he's
know,
like
so
he's
when,
like a straight up
when you
myth.
when you stand in front of him, like you're seeing this guy that everyone talked about, but no one knew where he was, and now you're confronting him.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, and you're
everybody
like,
thought. I mean,
This lightsaber belongs to you, bro. Like, and he just
I was really I was
looks at you.
I was really disappointed
she
that
said
he
that.
didn't speak, and it was not the Joker voice.
oh,
It will be.
just start
That's
laughing.
like that's like his natural voice now. But no, like the thing is that like, kind of going off what Shane was saying, it's more than just Yoda, because nobody knew who the fuck Yoda was, but everybody in the whole fucking galaxy knew who Luke Skywalker was, but they thought it was just an urban legend.
Yeah,
and you find out this urban legend is a real dude, and then you fucking meet
How is
the
it an urban legend when it was like 30 years ago?
Because all the Jedi had been wiped out. That whole thing at the end.
But like, there's people that have been alive for 30 years. You
no,
know what I mean?
but
Like,
but
it's
yeah,
not
but
like-
you gotta
it's
remember.
not like-
But that-
It's not a
yeah.
rumor. It's like,
no, but that,
no,
that,
I saw that guy. Like, I
goes
remember
back,
that. That's
goes
a real
back
thing.
to the whole like these events are so small that most of the universe probably doesn't
Exactly.
like really experience it. And I mean, as with Rey's in particular, she was a little kid, obviously, so she didn't really know what the fuck was going on when she got dropped in that planet and blah 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 whatever.
It's like kids born after 9/11. They will never know what that
and
is
on
all
top of
about.
that,
They're just gonna read it and be like, "Oh, 9/11
But
happened."
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
not
wow,
an
that's
urban
crazy.
legend. Like, there's people that are like,
No,
they
but-
know that it
no.
wasn't. It really
Yeah, but
not
what
happened.
I'm
really,
trying
though,
to
because you
say
gotta
is like
remember,
they don't have
the only people who
experience of seeing that.
the
stuff.
only people who the
But
only people that
continue.
happened to were a very specific group. Like it wasn't like going on about the Jedi all day long. People weren't going on talking about it. It was like
Seems like something
all they
that
did
people
was
would
they
talk
went,
about.
they got to the Empire and they tried to kill the dudes. They weren't like running around blowing up. It wasn't like, you know, the prequels where Jedi were fucking everywhere. It was like
Yeah.
the Jedi were already down to like a bare minimum amount of people in the whole fucking universe. And when the original Star Wars came out, and then by this time now all of them are gone for the most part,
Yeah.
except for Luke, and the only people who know about him are just basically all the
two
fucking
people.
I mean,
the Ren guys. So after like all this time, it was such a pinpointed event in the original, and now to this point, it's like now it's just hearsay from fucking who knows.
Well, I mean, that's. I think you're completely correct. I mean, in the prequels, which was a complete mistake, there was like fucking millions of Jedis, but let's treat them
Lucas
as
makes
like
no
we-
mistakes.
they never happened.
Remember that.
If we go to the originals, the only person that anybody knew that could use the Force was Darth Vader. And even then, motherfuckers were talking down to him, thinking like, "Oh, I'm not scared of your bullshit." And then he chokes everybody out. And they even said, "Oh, your ancient magic has no power here," and because they don't really, it's not a thing anymore. And by the end of that trilogy, he's dead. The only one left is fucking Luke. And then another 30 years pass. So it's like, I mean, the history that happened in between those 30 years, or what they explain in the movie, is that he tried to train a couple people. Fucking Kylo Ren went crazy and killed a bunch of younglings, I'm assuming. And and then Luke got all emo shit and was like, I can't do this, and he fucking booked it.
Yeah, he blamed himself for it. He said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah.
I'm Yoda
so
on this
he
bitch.
went to this planet to reflect on, like, I'm assuming meditate about like what is the meaning of life, 42, and like to find out what he needed to do. In terms of that ending, I actually, might surprise you, I didn't love that ending. I thought the movie was ending when Rey got in the Millennium Falcon and she was taking off. I was like, great, awesome ending. Roll credits, and then we see her like actually arriving on a planet. I'm like, oh my god, how much more movie is this? Like, it's gonna be another hour. I think that's why they said maybe Luke shouldn't talk, because if he starts talking, they're gonna get into this conversation, and it's like gonna take forever. And you're like, okay, let's leave some for the next one, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
maybe also he's not like the greatest actor in the world either. So maybe like,
Oh no, it's good, man.
J.J.
He's
Abrams
good,
was
he's
like,
good.
I'd rather not.
He's in the Flash, in the new one.
You know what?
I keep
You know
telling
what?
you that he's good.
I think
Trickster.
I like.
Yeah, I didn't say he never acted before.
I
I
like.
said he's not the great.
He's done like 3 movies.
Yeah,
hasn't done
exactly.
Sorry, 4 movies.
I like the
in
ending.
30 years.
I liked the ending to an extent. I liked
40 years.
Once she landed, I was like, okay, I felt the same way. I was like, Jesus, this shit ain't over yet. But once she landed, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then she showed him the lightsaber and his reaction. I really liked his reaction. Like, he was just like, oh fuck, yeah, like that kind of look, you know?
It's like that
He's like,
lightsaber.
come on,
geez,
man.
that killed
Yeah,
my
he's like,
father.
fucking,
My father killed a lot of
I
people
thought I
with
was
that.
done with this shit. But like,
there
I
a
like
hand
that
with
part.
that?
But what I didn't like was that fucking drawn out, like panned, like circle shot. Like
Yeah.
fucking
The Abrams,
drone.
the Michael Bay.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
that
I was
was
like-
that was a fucking what's his name?
Michael
that
Bay?
kind of that took me
Transformers
out of it.
guy.
Michael Bay.
Michael-
That took
yeah,
me
maybe.
out of it.
I said like
Chad
three
said
times
Michael Bay like 8
Yeah.
No,
times.
sorry.
For the first time, Chad. You
No,
won.
but,
That definitely
yeah,
took me out of the whole scene. I was like, all right,
that
now
was
it's
a
just
little
cheesy.
that was exaggerated. But here's another thing that's possible. The reason that scene was so emotionally charged. Remember when she touched the thing, it was like she had this visually stunning. I loved how they did it, the whole flashback and all the memories that kind of flooded into her brain. So she does have this like, oh my god, there's a lot of history that this guy can give me. So it's like, here I have this and it did this to me. It's like, help me. Like, what are you doing? So from her point of view, it's supercharged. From his point of view, and this is a joke, don't take this seriously. That lightsaber, was it in the first one or the second one? Whichever. That lightsaber was cut off from his hand and dropped in this fucking flying tower that probably fell down a poop chute into a cloud planet.
How
was
did
probably
they
gas.
find
Who
that?
the fuck found that?
Maz Katana?
Yeah, okay.
But they were on Cloud City when that happened, right?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, there's a planet at the
Holy
bottom of Cloud
That's
City.
why he.
Yeah,
that's
but
why.
it's like Jupiter.
That's why he builds. That's why he builds the green one, because that's a blue lightsaber. Then he builds his new green lightsaber, which
How the hell did they?
they
find
actually
that?
have there's a deleted scene of him building it with his little robot arms.
Oh man,
They cut that.
that's actually something that I really wish that they would
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, they
So
never show that shit.
Maz Katana apparently was supposed to present that lightsaber to Leia at the base, and that scene got cut.
In
So
when?
the introduction of Maz was supposed to be at the Resistance base, and then they had to add this entire like cantina scene and the whole flashback and all that shit.
And I'm okay with the cantina scene because Han Solo's the one that takes them there. And Han Solo, come on.
I know,
First
they're
of
like,
all,
hey
he
guys,
hangs
we
out
gotta
at
keep
cantinas.
we gotta
Like,
keep a
we
low
know this.
profile, and then they just like walk like right into the front door.
Yeah, but it's like it's
crowded
another thing. It's
place.
like they
You know, like the bounty hunter
There's no
flags all over the place
there's no
outside.
back door at the place. Like
No.
Hey, just remember, Han
Boy
shot
front
first.
door.
yes,
Han
he
shot
did.
only
Yeah,
in
he
the
did.
original.
Yeah,
That's all he did.
but he's a
okay.
cantina man. He goes around meeting dirty people in
drinks.
dirty bars. So he
Hey,
he feels
they're not
comfortable
dirty
there.
people.
They look pretty dirty.
Pirate or whatever they want to call him.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. But okay, real talk, Ray.
What about him?
What connection do you guys think? Because there's a lot of
All right.
things going around
I'm
about her.
pretty-
Like, is she Obi-Wan's
pretty
daughter?
sure- no,
is
she's
she
not
related to
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan? Hold on,
Obi-Wan's
let me finish.
fucking
Hold on.
70.
Is she Luke Skywalker's like family? I mean, I read a little bit of fiction or whatever. Someone brought up a good point about her and Obi-Wan. Yeah, it's all fiction. I'm gonna talk about anyway about her and Obi-Wan being related.
Shane
And
gets
they
most of
brought
his
up the
information
fact
from
that-
the comment boards at IGN.
IMDb.
Oh hell yeah, that's what I do.
I believe
That's already established.
Anyway,
Okay.
but hold on, let me
Can I
finish. Right?
Can I finish?
Is that yes? Please, hello. But you see how I'm talking? They said that because they have that British accent, that they are related. Because if you think about it, like even Finn, Joey Boyega, he's British by
John?
natural. He's is John, or Joey? Sorry,
John, I
probably
think.
it's John. Yeah, it's John. He's naturally British, but he spoke with American tone.
Well, she's not as
And
a,
if you think about
as an
everyone-
experienced actress.
Hold on,
God,
Jesus,
let him
bro.
tell
Hold
his-
on.
let him tell his
but
story.
It doesn't matter. But that's what I'm saying is that they're saying that, you know, the British accent links her to
Aha!
Just like in
Obi-Wan.
real
but
life.
she did not grow up with her family. She grew up in a completely alien planet.
okay, how many times do you know? Okay, how much people have fathers?
Everybody.
out there.
So-
that
Every
they
sing-
can
every single
remember-
person.
that they can remember. Like, oh, you know what? I know who my dad looks
I
like.
kinda
You know, like I've grown
I
up with
got
my
a good,
mom.
I got a good one though. I got
Sorry,
a good
Chad,
one.
but- you get me?
Obi-Wan died over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And she's not 30.
That's true.
Problem solved. Obi-Wan.
No,
bumped.
but I'm pretty sure that is
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Luke's daughter.
I came away from the movie thinking like, oh, that's obviously Luke's daughter, and then like,
Oh yeah, that's the first
and
thing
then
you think.
I guess like hours after, or speaking with Luis and some other people that we watched it with. I actually didn't watch it with you, Luis, right? You watched it.
No, yeah, we did. We watched.
Yeah, but we watched it with some people, and they were like, "Oh, I wonder who, you know, how she's connected to this whole thing." And and I was just like confused. I was like, "Wait, what?" I thought she was. So I was
I thought it was pretty
confusing. It was
Well, the thing is that there's the force users, people who are force sensitive or whatever, don't have to be related. You know, like they had fucking Jedi from all over the universe, different species, period. So she doesn't have to be necessarily related to anybody specific. I'm sure she will be, considering, you know, how the movie rolls. They're kind of making it all dramatic who her parents are supposed to be, but I'm sure it'll be someone specific. But, you know,
they don't know yet.
Watch just like
potentially
no
she
one.
could be fucking Mace Windu's kid or some shit.
Nice.
You know? Light skinned.
That was
Oh
60
man, that
years
would be
ago.
the best.
Shut the fuck up, Luis. You see how young Mace Windu
He went
was?
to a sperm bank, man.
Mace Windu was young, man. He was
Yeah.
ready to bone at any
I'm
age.
sure.
He got that cryogenically frozen.
You took some time with Leia
here's
for a while.
Here's a bit of I don't know how real this is, but this is like kind of something that set everything off, or if it's really what happened. But the speculation is that she was one of the Jedis that was being trained by Luke originally. Her, and Ben, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, just say Kylo
and
Ren.
This was some people had issues with her having like this amazing
Such a good
ability to
force,
like
yeah.
use her force without a lot of training.
That's really
Well,
good.
Damn, gender
No,
bias
yes, well-
in Star Wars.
Well, the thing is,
Damn.
what people
You're a
what people
girl.
are
You can't be that
speculating
strong.
is that they were both in the same quote unquote class or whatever, and Ben was so jealous of Rey for having this
Rey?
natural talent that's what kind of drove him to like be crazy and whatever. So he just went to the Sith so that he could become even more powerful
Hey, can I ask a
Blah,
question
blah,
real
blah.
quick?
Yeah.
You don't
Yes.
you don't have to you can be a Jedi without being like of blood of one, right? You don't have to be an offspring or from
Yes.
some
No.
pre-existing
Yeah, Anakin
Jedi to
wasn't.
become a Jedi.
Yeah, you don't
Anakin
need to
didn't
be
have a
Jedi.
dad, man.
Okay.
Anakin was immaculate conception, so let's just leave him out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But oh yeah, that's right.
He was born through the midichlorian. Bullshit.
Metachlorians.
No, but here's another thing why I think this might be a real thing. Why did they put her in hiding? You know, she was
No, no.
given to that planet. She was left there to what I guess maybe this is part of speculation. We would have to dig into the movie to see if they put more details like this. But she was put there to be hidden away or whatever.
I do like that theory. I never thought of that and it does kind of make sense to Luke's reaction. He's like, "Oh fuck, I thought I got rid of you," like that kind of thing. Like I hid you for a fucking reason.
he was that
I hid you
bad.
for a fucking reason. Now you came through.
Yeah.
You know, I do like that theory. That's pretty good. I never even
Luke
thought
was
of
a
that
bad
shit.
father. He didn't.
No, it's
he
not
was
even-
not
that's what I'm
about
saying, though.
responsibility.
No, but I'm not saying like Louis is saying. It's not necessarily a father, just a force sensitive who.
I think Luke was like, shit, I killed my dad, or I witnessed my dad being dead. I need to not be around my kids because they're going to come and take my hand. I only got one
fuck
human
that.
hand left.
Fuck that. I like that theory the best so far.
Yeah,
That one you just
Yeah,
said,
it
Louis,
makes
is the
sense.
best
It's like
one. I
Kylo
don't
Ren
want her
got
to be
pissed,
related to no
went to the
fucking buddy.
Sith, and that's part of why Luke is like, "Oh no, I can't stop these kids from going to the Sith, so I'm going to stop all the training." Kylo Ren hates this little girl, so let's put her in hiding. Maybe she's Luke's daughter. Who knows?
probably
I
Luke's
think she
daughter.
is. I thought for some
It
reason
made from the
entire
beginning you
movie-
saw it.
from the entire movie, I was like, yeah, that's his daughter. That's what I just thought. But who knows? You know, they always like to throw curveballs and stuff.
It'd be so much better if she wasn't. If she was just like a random person.
No,
Yeah,
but you
no,
know what?
I'd like that
But
twist.
I don't think that's gonna happen because it's a blatant regurgitation. But before we go on to that,
Shut up.
I was a little bit like, well, all right, I'll say it very straight. I was superbly happy that there was a black male stormtrooper
He's racist.
who became a Jedi. Well, that's why I thought he would become an actual Jedi and, you know, wielding a lightsaber.
Well, he's not a
But
Still
yeah,
possible.
exactly.
Still
But
possible.
you know, you're right. It's still possible that he could be, but it's portrayed at this point that he is not. I was a little disappointed by that, but you know, whatever. For the sake of the story, you can't really get everything
Well,
you want.
if
You
you
know,
want
He was great. He was
But
great.
it was
man.
good. It was
He
good.
was great in the movie, and Daisy Ridley was great in the movie.
Yeah.
And also, like, we haven't even mentioned Adam Driver's performance.
Oh, he was great.
That was
He was great.
fucking amazing. Everything.
He had a pimp
his
la-
physicality.
pimp year last year.
All these goddamn people are
real.
moaning about how they hated how Adam Driver was so emotional, and it's like you gotta understand that's the point. Like he's supposed to be battling.
young.
Fucking.
He's
no, but not
emotionally
even that.
driven character.
No, but yeah, exactly. He's trying to battle the good and evil in him, and it's fucking him all up. So it's like that's the whole point of him. He's supposed to be all fucking like confused and raging and like just fucking not. Know
I
what
mean,
the fuck
like,
he's supposed to do.
did you
Teenager,
not
yes.
like see that point where like he's like talking to his dead grandfather's helmet, asking for guidance, like how do I become like you? And you can tell like
He's
on
torn.
the level of how powerful he is as a person. You know, like in the beginning scene where like where the laser beam gets shot at him and he just like holds like the whole laser beam
Yeah, that was-
in
that was
place
bad.
That was fucking
for
sick,
the
by the
whole
way.
entire dialogue that he had. I don't think we've seen Darth Vader or anyone else do that. You know,
No, it's the first time we see that in anything.
and
fucking
to me
wicked.
that just showcased his power. You know, is not like anyone else's.
I also liked how it kind of showed that the kind of reinforced the idea that these are not laser beams; they're bolts.
Yeah.
I like that too.
But
Yeah,
no,
I really liked it. I really liked his.
I have
really
to
liked his
say though,
take.
like I do give it up to Kylo Ren. Like he took on, like in the end scene, he took on Daisy and Finn. You know, and he was hurt.
Yeah,
you
no, he
know?
was. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is pretty clear by now that the fucking Chewbacca's bowcaster, and they did an entire scene just to showcase how this gun can blow motherfuckers away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Kylo Ren took a shot straight on and kept fucking fighting. So that was, and he wasn't like, in defense modes. He just killed his dad and he was like thinking about that. So his guards were completely down. On top of that, people forget that just because fucking Finn is goofy, they forget that he's a fucking trained stormtrooper. Like
Who can actually hit things.
Yeah.
by the way.
Trained since a child.
Yeah, he was. I mean, sure, he was in.
He was a child
He was
soldier.
in the cleaning department or whatever. But in order for him to get on the ground to that village, he had to have gone through tests to make sure
they
that
had
he was good
simulations.
enough. Yeah. So he's a trained fighter. So when he pulled out the lightsaber, everybody's like, "Oh, how can he do that? Or how can he stand up against Kylo Ren?" Well, I mean, Kylo Ren was fucked up, and he didn't really last that long.
No, he fought him when he wasn't
No,
fucked
he fought
up,
him
though.
good.
But here's the thing, and this is what I was going back to what I was saying to you, Shane.
What were you
the
talking
fact,
to me?
The fact that he can wield a lightsaber just shows that he's force sensitive, because in all of all the Star Wars lore, you can't wield a lightsaber unless you're force sensitive, like extremely
But-
force. So,
But,
The-
okay, wait. Before you say that,
Well,
then,
actually-
because I think
before anybody goes any further, they did have only one other person ever wield one, quote unquote, which was Han Solo.
Solo,
But all he
right.
did was cut open a thing. He didn't fight anybody, and that's what they mean. They mean like when they're actually fighting people.
Well,
Yeah.
there
So
was General Grievous.
after the movie was over,
He had, like,
I
10 of
came
them.
away. I came away thinking that Finn was also force sensitive. And then it wasn't until I read stuff afterwards, it was like, oh, that was like a bait and switch. Like it was supposed to make you think that he was the guy, but instead it was Rey.
Right.
And I came away thinking that like, oh, they both.
Yeah.
Obviously Rey more than Finn, right? Because she can already do.
I don't think
Jedi
Finn,
mind tricks.
Finn is. I don't think the whole lightsaber, because I know that you can't build a lightsaber if you're not a Jedi, but he didn't wield it. He wielded it like a regular stick. He didn't wield it like a Jedi, like swinging it around and doing all that fancy shit.
Yeah, but he was just untrained with using one.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
well, he's been trained with.
I always thought
weapons
that
and
if you
sticks.
didn't have any force powers, as soon as you pick that up, like you cut yourself.
Yeah, exactly. He did
mean-
not cut himself at all. He didn't
Well,
poke
that-
his eye out.
which is fine.
He No, I think majority of people like, bro, you and
Again,
any
he's
of
a
us
trained
wielding
fighter.
this. No, bro, I don't care.
He fought his buddy with the baton. Like they're trained with these type of weapons.
Yeah,
Traitor?
the traitor
yeah.
guy.
What's it?
dude.
TR
Yeah,
TR8
TR8, TR8,
That's- yeah,
Traitor.
That's his adopted name.
TR8 TR.
So, what was everybody's favorite character? Now that we've gotten kind of through all our
Finn and
gotta be,
Kylo Ren.
mine's gotta be Finn. Like he was really dope, man. That
Funny.
like, John Boyega
Yeah, he did a
definitely he pretty much murdered that fucking character. It was
Yeah,
really good.
he may have stolen the show.
Yeah,
Yeah, he definitely.
he was that character where he's just like put in a situation where he's just looking around. What the fuck is happening?
Right?
He was
Yeah.
like, which is exactly kind of what Han Solo was in the in the first ones, where you need, and that's what the prequels lacked, that character. They didn't have a guy that was just like me or you. If we were put in that situation,
Yeah.
how would we react?
I mean,
No, but one of the
I
coolest
really
things
like
about Finn,
Kylo
though, one of the coolest things about Finn, though, is that not only was he put in that situation, be like, "Yo, fuck this." It was more like he's programmed to think that that's fine, and then he still broke that program and being like, "This is fucking wrong."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's what's really cool about it. His character.
But here's the thing that we haven't mentioned in the hour that we've been talking, and now that you're talking about characters, who's your favorite character? Fucking BB-8. How would we completely forgot about BB-8? He
Yeah.
was
Bro,
fucking
the-
amazing.
The coolest thing
I
he
did
did
forget
was
about
that
BB-8.
thumbs up.
the thumbs up with a lighter. I mean, he was on point with everything.
Yeah,
yeah.
he was good.
He,
but
I mean, he didn't really
he's
do
no
much
R2
other
though.
than roll around.
Come on, I'm just trying to give the little kid a shout out. Or
It's
I'm
a
sure
little
he's-
kid.
I'm sure he's
It's,
old.
there's a little kid in that ball.
Probably.
yeah,
I don't know.
just dying.
Like a hamster.
Someone just put their laundry in there.
They obviously made him seem younger, at least compared to
Yeah.
R2D2.
Yeah, like R2D2 was like some older
No,
guy.
nobody,
All dust covered.
nobody's rooting for Captain Phasma.
Bro, she
Oh,
was
speaking of
so,
which, oh
such
my
a disappointment.
God. Huge
Was she?
disappointment.
I wanted so much more out of that
What?
character, and all we got out of her was like, "My team's the best. We got to use this and that." And then all of a sudden, like, "Oh, I'm being held up by John Boyega." great.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was her whole thing.
You'll never get out of here.
I think she's.
It'll be really hard for you guys.
I
so
think
pissed.
that was the best example of a bad setup. It's like
Yeah.
if there's one thing in the movie that I was like, okay, I know that it's a setup. It was her. I know that she's gonna come back in the next movie because they didn't kill her. She's gonna come back in the next movies and probably have like a bigger part.
I think she's
but
gonna
yeah,
have a big
it was
part
a
in
little
this
disappointed that
next
they
movie.
introduced this character a little too early.
Right.
I know
Well,
what. No,
maybe they had.
I really,
reason to.
I really think
Yeah.
she is going to be set up for Rogue One. I think she's going to be in it.
That's what I was gonna think.
Well,
So there's kind of giving me little
you think
taste,
so?
little.
well, do you guys know what the story of Rogue One is, right?
No. Enlighten us,
Rogue
please.
One, you know, in the original prequel, when Luke first goes to the rebels and they're having the meeting about the Death Star plans, Rogue One is how they got those plans. You know, and actually, what Leia gives to R2D2 that sets the entire thing off of chasing Leia and then trying to
The MacGuffin.
yeah, what Leia gave to R2D2 is the ending of Rogue One, essentially.
Right. So
It's like
Rogue One's
what
supposed to be
happened-
between episodes 3 and 4, is it not?
Yes,
Okay then.
but it's like leading up to like them giving the plans to Leia, I guess, to that she hands them over to the rebels and stuff like that.
So it literally like takes place right before this.
right, no, right before the episode 4, New Hope.
You know what?
A New Hope.
Sorry.
A New
Hold
Hope.
1 second. Shout out to Poe for having a black X-wing. That was sick.
Okay.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
That was awesome.
I like the.
We haven't even talked about my favorite characters in the movie.
Oh, you
Oh,
didn't
I'm
say
sorry.
anything.
Well,
didn't say
here's my turn. it was
Drum roll. Say it.
it was the guys from Raid Redemption.
What?
Boo.
Oh, you lose.
What? Come on.
Just because the guy was in one of the other movies we talked about doesn't mean he can be your favorite character.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was
he
also
can
in
be, but-
Yakuza Apocalypse.
In our first podcast.
Yeah, get out.
Those guys are badass.
No, that
Wait,
whole part
where-
was
where?
the worst.
That
Where-
whole part
who was
was
it?
kind of weird. That was just J.J. Abrams wanted to put like a big ass monster.
Yeah, the most un-Star Wars looking monster,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
so just give me a spaghetti
Well,
monster. throw him
shout
in
out. I just love the Raid Redemption. Okay.
there. Well, how about you just watch that movie instead?
Yeah, I would have liked more with
I
that
think we could-
character.
yeah.
That's definitely something I would.
Everybody should watch that movie instead. Pretty much. What do you guys want to see out of Rogue One? If anything, or not just Rogue One, but
like the rest of the Star Wars?
episode. Yeah, exactly. For the
Yeah.
future. For
I-
this year. This year, Rogue One comes out.
More
next
character
year
development.
is the
Less
the,
regurgitation.
You know
Yeah,
what'd be really
exactly.
cool actually. At least out of Rogue One, be cool if the Knights of Ren popped up.
The
that. No, bro, you don't. you don't get it, dog. That's not happening yet.
It's gonna come through. They're gonna come in. They're gonna kill all the dudes at the end.
What is that?
No,
What is
not-
that?
what?
I don't
Rogue
know what that
One
is.
happens before A New Hope.
Yeah, which is
It doesn't matter.
30
It does,
plus
yeah.
years ago.
The Knights
Oh,
of
my
Ren
bad,
don't
my bad,
happen
my bad.
until
Yeah.
Time
Okay.
travel ain't possible.
Oh, well,
Nah.
okay,
In your face.
sure.
Could someone
not-
explain what the hell that is?
What?
What?
Time travel?
No.
The Knights
Oh my
of
God.
Ren.
Yes, that.
The Knights
That's
of
what
'cause
Kylo Ren
it's
is.
like basically all the other Sith Lords, except they're
Yeah.
the Ren versions. There's 7
Oh.
guys, including Kylo. And Kylo's the leader.
Instead of Sith, they're Ren.
Instead
or
of
whatever.
Darths. Instead of
Or
Darths.
Instead of Darth, yeah. Instead of Darth Vader or Darth Maul, they're like
Or Darth
whatever
Sidious.
Ren, whatever, Kylo Ren.
So pretty much they're a
Sam
different
Ren.
set. They're like the Bloods
Tom
and
Ren.
Crips.
I don't know.
It is basically
They're like
dark,
the Bloods,
dark,
and there's like
dark Force users.
more
but with
Bloods.
different names.
Yeah.
They're just
Bigger Bloods.
that new religion that's trying to like fucking.
Instead of being like Sixth Street, they're like fucking.
It all comes back
19th
down to
and
religion.
Carlston.
No, it's the 6th Street, which is whatever. I don't know. Bro. Anyway,
Grape
I
Street,
don't-
man.
I don't want to get into gang mentality on this.
Not yet.
Not
say
yet.
that.
all right.
That's for the 100th episode.
What about? Okay, I want to see. No, number one, Donnie Yen is going to be in Rogue One.
He's blind.
So that means
What?
He's blind.
He's blind.
Yes, Maul's going to be coming back.
So,
Really?
Donnie Yen is so maybe So there's blind like samurais.
I'm sure.
He's Chinese though. He's not a samurai.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. You are right.
damn.
But there's been like martial artists that have been blind and are just as effective.
Only Zatoichi.
Matt Murdock, right?
He's not the samurai.
He's a ninja.
He's not necessarily blind.
He's a white ninja.
Matt
Surf
Murdock.
ninja.
Oh, fucking
Daredevil.
Hey, Ben Affleck.
good show. Not Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Good, like 50 years of story.
Yeah.
I personally like the yellow and red one.
what?
Yeah. The yellow and red Daredevil costume.
I don't know that one.
That's the original one.
OG.
So so we want to see Darth Maul come back, right?
Yep.
Or
He's
what
still
about
alive.
what about this? Not Darth Maul, but like somebody else that's Darth Maul's race.
Yeah.
The same race as Darth
that'd
Maul.
be sick.
Like, right? Because we don't. What is he like? He's not a human. Like,
Who?
I don't even know.
What the fuck?
He's
are they
supposed to be
called?
still alive in Clone Wars. They brought him back. I don't know if they killed him again, but I know they brought him back.
Yeah, the whole robot legs. Did they actually show him though?
Yeah, they did. They show him with spider
Yeah,
legs.
they show him-
and
they
it was
show
in a
spider
3D
legs.
version. It was pretty dope.
And in the comics, he gets bipedal legs later.
Yeah, but the comics, they're like that's not canon anymore.
non-canonical.
But if he
All right,
was,
well-
if he was in the Clone Wars, then yeah, he's technically still canon.
You know what would be cool? I think a lot of people would really love is if the Star Killer guy actually exists from the Force Unleashed games. He actually exists in this timeline.
Wait, what?
The Star Killer guy. Remember from Force Unleashed 2 or whatever?
Force
Pretty much
Unleashed 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Oh.
The apprentice
Darth
that
Vader's
that
apprentice.
never Darth Vader's apprentice.
The guy
Oh,
that
okay,
the
okay,
guy
okay,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Mist.
Yeah.
in the mist who got it in the face.
I don't know if he's gonna. I
Anyway,
doubt he'll
but,
come back just because they named the big the new Death Star was called the Star.
I thought they named it after him.
You never know exactly.
Yeah, but that's
I assumed that they named it after.
So you
Star
think he's
Killer.
gonna roll through and be like, "Who fucked up my ship?"
Yeah, this is my planet.
Imagine if he were to do that in some way, like, you know, coming on to the third one. It's like he shows up in the second one, and then the third one, it's like Kylo Ren has a change of heart, and Rey has to, like, you know, she's always been good, and
No.
you know, they come together and they just try and fight this one massive Jedi who is like the actual true apprentice.
That's what you
of
wanna see?
Darth Vader. Awesome. Dude, I think it'd be kind of cool because then if you think about it, Kylo Ren wants to live up to his grandfather, and then it's kind of like he has this person who is
His grandfather's apprentice.
who is his grandfather's apprentice, who is like better than his grandfather and better than him. You know,
Yeah.
they
Well,
have
to,
that.
one of the
off.
more interesting parts of the movie to me was Kylo Ren's battle between his own good and his own evil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I kind of
Yeah.
I don't want them to change that so quickly. I want that to be like a big deal when he like finally in the third one, whatever, turns
that's what I
back.
said.
There's also the fact that Adam Driver could act it like, you know, like
Well.
circles around that guy. No, you know, no offense to that dude from The Mist, but
I mean, he did get pulled
yeah,
away.
I
pretty
don't know.
well
I
from
don't
that.
know him as a
Yeah. But you know what? Overall, I'm very happy with everyone.
you know what I want to see? I want to see more Ewoks.
No,
no.
Not enough Ewoks.
Not enough
I think
Ewoks. So-
their planet got blown
Probably.
up. Didn't it?
Endor?
no, man.
No, didn't bro? They saved
We're
that
not going
shit,
back
bro.
there.
Door straight.
We're not
So we
going
haven't
back there.
seen like Wicket or any of those dudes since
Yeah,
Return.
they're like dogs. They like
Yeah, they got 12
12,
years, man.
13 years. They're gone.
Wicked's dead
Probably.
He's gone, man.
already. It's only been 30 years. He could still be like a gray Ewok, like all gray.
He was just a jit, but he might be the new leader.
He was just a jit, yeah. But imagine like you just see like you know, there's a corner or whatever, and all of a sudden, a fucking Ewok pops his head out.
Got the little
Like,
yub-
people
yub nub
people
starts
go
kicking
crazy,
off on
dog.
the
Are you kidding
radio.
me?
Yeah, I can see that being a little
A
cameo.
cameo.
He
Good
did a
fan
lot
service.
of little cameos for things from the old ones.
How do you guys?
Which I really appreciated.
How do you
Yeah,
guys?
we could
feel,
give Warwick Davis a little bit of
He needs some work.
some shine, yeah.
How do you guys feel about the idea of maybe Kylo Ren not having that cross saber anymore? 'Cause it did get
I like
chopped,
the cross saber.
It did get chopped in half. I want it to come back. People are like, oh, you can build a new one now. No,
He got chopped in half.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, didn't it?
When did
I
that
see
Chopped
happen?
in half. She chopped it in half when she chopped his
I don't
face.
think
didn't
so.
it?
I don't think
Well, the
so.
whole-
I think she
no,
just got. I think she just got at his
Oh, he
face.
got a
She
cool-
chopped it-
cool
She
fucking-
chopped it and then chopped his face.
He got a cool
I
scar
think he
now.
just-
There was too
He's
much
got a
shit
cool
going on
scar.
to really tell.
Yeah, I don't quite remember, but I'll take your word for it. I don't know. He can probably. I want to see. I really want to see how that thing came about. Like, obviously, to me, that seems like he's an untrained lightsaber builder. That's what kind of.
It's because there wasn't
Became that
it's an ancient technology, really. Lightsabers are super
Mm-hmm.
old, and it's that like he he doesn't have like the skills to do
I
it.
think what I thought that like what people were saying at first was that like, oh, it's so impractical. Like why would you even have a cross lightsaber like that? But then when he was locked in a lightsaber battle and they were locked up like that, he'd use the cross to like
Stab him in the
stab the dude in the shoulder, and I was like, oh, that's brilliant. It's functional. It's not like just
No, I mean it is functional, but like it's exactly what I was saying. It's just exhaust ports because I guess in the schematics it says that like the crystal that he has, like all the Sith crystals are fucking synthetic.
that shit wasn't in the movie.
No, they have a cross section of it, and it's like
Not in the
evidently his crystal is cracked, which makes it even more unstable. So and they're super powerful, those red crystals. So that's why he needed to have the exhaust ports, because it's fucked up as it was and unstable, and he needed to have it go out. Otherwise, it would just fucking blew up.
That sounds like bullshit. to me.
Is that what J.J. Abrams said?
That's what it says in the official Star Wars lightsaber picture right here.
Manual.
I'll send you the link, y'all.
Fucking A,
You went to
Nice.
a special Star Wars screening where they gave you like a little booklet.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams sat down next to me and was whispering in my ear the whole time.
Oh, sweet.
It was like
been
the Hateful Eight roadshow where they gave us like a little book.
I hate that movie. I didn't hate it, but whatever.
This is racist.
Did you hate the Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
Because there's black people in it.
Yeah. Luis is.
It's like the
There's
one
too
guy.
many-
We can't
many
wait for the
black
Oscars, right?
That's Luis. He's gonna rave about that.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyway, guys, I think we had a good discussion about
a lively
Star Wars.
discussion.
Yeah.
And I think we all played different roles that we didn't expect, which is kind of funny. Like as Carlos said, he's normally on the dark side, and I'm normally on the light side. So, I guess we switched up today.
This is my redemption episode.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. And yeah. Well, hopefully you guys out there enjoy the podcast tonight, and
Thanks.
may the force be with you.
Ah,
man,
hey, you
fucked
held
up,
it too
Luis.
long.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? There's power of editing. May the force
Peace
be with
out.
you guys.
Bye.
And with you.
Wait,
too.
wait! I want to say something. Star Wars, a witty Star Wars ending. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Nah, never mind.
What? We didn't even interrupt you.
No, I didn't have anything.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to say something, but I don't know what to say. Hold on, let me think of something.
Okay, who wants to take us out?
I want to take it. I thought I
Let
took you
Luis
guys
do it.
out
He
a
hasn't
long
done it
time
before.
ago.
I don't know. You do it. I don't
Luis.
know. Next time, maybe.
All right. Okay, I'll do it.
Remember
I
to
didn't know this
subscribe.
was a thing.
No, Chad started it.
Oh, jeez. No, Chad didn't even start it. Like Chad
took
just
it.
did the last New Year's one, which was kind of good.
It was the best.
But all right.
We will
Alright,
we will
so
return. We will
once-
return next week, just like the Empire did.
They didn't return.
Yes,
That was the
'cause-
first order.
Return of the
Well,
Jedi.
if they didn't return, then why is there still a resistance?
For the first order.
Uh-oh.
But I thought that they took down the Empire, so there shouldn't be a rebel resistance if they've taken down the Empire.
That's a. Yeah. You're gonna get
Well,
me
yeah,
off
where's the-
started in a complete.
All right. Thank you, ladies and guys. I mean, ladies and guys.
That's all right,
That's correct.
ladies
That's
and
actually
guys,
good.
and
Yeah,
dogs,
dude,
and
that's
cats,
awesome. And
And
dogs and
marmosets.
cats.
and
Dudes.
Jedis and
Sith.
Siths,
Sith
Lords,
Lords.
and Wrens, and everybody,
Yep.
and BB-8s,
and
droids,
All the Poes and Fins.
yep, and droids.
and
You know, which was actually something we didn't really talk about. It's that
tauntauns.
whatever. We're gonna let it be. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening to tonight's podcast. I just want to remind you guys to check us out at soundcloud.com/Art School
Well,
Rejects.
they're listening,
And
so.
I know, but
Check us out
you
on
know,
Tumblr. Subscribe.
Check us
send
out
us a
on
message.
Tumblr and do all that good
Tell your
stuff.
crew.
Tell your mom.
If you can dream it up, we can make it happen.
Tell everybody. Just don't tell Kylo Ren, because he'll come and fuck
tell
your
Carlos
shit up.
Ren.
Don't tell Matt.
Oh,
Ren and
Don't
Stimpy.
Don't tell
Matt
Bones.
Damon?
Please stop this.
Don't
Goodbye.
don't tell tall tales.
Hey, may the force be
out,
with
yeah.
you. Peace. Bye.
Get home safe.
Broccoli.